Good day, yogis, and welcome back onto the mat with me as we go into a shorter yin practice today, moving through a few beautiful shoulder opening postures, focusing on completely relaxing and letting go. So we won't hold postures for as long as we usually do today, so nothing more than a 3-minute hold. Just a few postures that we're going to use. So a bit of a shorter practice for anybody that doesn't have that much time and needs something like a quick tune-up. So grab your mats, grab your props, and join me for this beautiful, relaxing yin practice. So for props, if you have a bolster, that would be really handy, or a couple of big pillows, you can grab hold of those. If you have a blanket nearby or a towel, you can have that to fold up and place to prop up the hips. A couple of blocks, and we won't be using a strap today, but always good to have handy in your space. So coming down onto your mat, coming into seating. So really interesting reading I've done over the last few days, really about how the West and how the invention of a chair was probably one of the worst things for Western living, and how the fact that we spend so much time in a chair has shortened up hip flexors, weakened the lower back. So really, if you can get down onto the ground and just get used to coming into easy seat and just working on that alone is really going to be beneficial to avoiding and helping counteract the fact that we've done so much damage to the body because of spending so much time seated in chairs. So another thing that you can do is also to bring awareness when you are sitting. Are you leaning against the back of the chair? Are you able from time to time to lean forward and really use the core muscles and the back muscles rather than slouching back? So come into your easy seat and let's begin bringing palms together. So we'll take a moment here with palms together. Close the eyes and just begin to notice the in and out flow of your breath. As you begin to connect now to the inhale and the exhale. Allow the shoulders to drift away from the ears. Gently rub the palms together. Press the palms firmly together, draw them into the heart center, and allow yourself to connect now in this space. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice, whether that be to be present for this next period, or whether that means to just let go of thoughts and honor your body. Take that intention with you into the practice today. Take a last deep inhale here. And as you exhale, drop the hands out to the knees, palms facing upward, allowing yourself to settle on the mat. Beginning to notice your breathing once more, following the inhalation and exhalation, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And we can move into a short sequence of box breathing. So in box breathing, we inhale to a count of 4. We then hold the breath for a count of 4, to exhale for a count of 4, and then hold the breath once more for a count of 4. We'll be practicing this breathing technique to help balance the parasympathetic nervous system, and just to bring a little bit of focus back into your practice. So we're inhaling for a count of 4, holding for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4, and then holding once more for a count of 4. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Allow breathing to return back. No manipulating in any way, just noticing sensations within the body. Box breathing is useful for balancing and creating focus. So if you're about to start work on a task that requires a lot of focus, bring your attention to this breathing technique to allow yourself to once more gain focus. So if you're about to write an exam, if you're about to go into an important meeting, whatever that is, use this technique for a couple of minutes just to balance your brain once more and to bring yourself back into the present moment and into focus. So let's begin now with our first posture or shape, which is called Tortoise. So allow yourself to join the soles of the feet together. Now usually in cobbler's pose, in Hatha yoga, we bring the feet in towards the groin. For this pose, we draw the feet away from the body. So I'm going to show you side on as well. And then thread the arms underneath, interlace the fingers over the toes, and allow the forehead to drop down. Now, you can have a beautiful arching through the spine here. We're not drawing the chest down to the feet. Instead, we're allowing the forehead to drop down towards the arches of the feet. So find your edge here. Find the space where you can allow yourself to let go and be still. And then we're here for 3 minutes. So really allowing yourself now to go within, to become quiet and still as you find your edge of a 5, and then hold the posture in complete stillness. If you need to take any props here, if you want to take a block and place it underneath the forehead, you feel that the neck is feeling a bit tight, you may do so, whatever you need. Just set yourself up beautifully to be able to surrender into the shape. And then soften throughout the body. Soften the shoulders, soften the head, soften the feet. The target area for this stretch runs through the lower back area and a little bit into the hips as we draw the knees down towards the ground. And then allow yourself to settle into the shape, having now fully surrendered, allowing yourself to relax and melt into the shape of tortoise or of star. There's a few names for this guy. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. How can you surrender just that bit more, allowing yourself to truly melt down into the ground? Maybe you're able to shift your prop, lowering down as you begin to gain some range within the shape. Noticing any pockets of tension in the body and where you can consciously use the breath to release those. Gently fold yourself out of the shape, pressing the hands into the soles of the feet, gently drawing yourself out, sending the soles into the ground, knees are pointing up towards ceiling. Bring the hands behind the back and let's take a few windshield wipers over from one side to the other, gently drawing the knees down from one side to the other, allowing yourself to get a beautiful stretch into the hip joint or the hip itself. And a couple more. And then we're going to come into the next shape, which is a wide-legged seated, so it's a one-legged forward fold. So we're going to extend, rather than extending the legs straight out in front of us, we're going to take it out wide to the side, bring the sole of the left foot in towards the right thigh, body is squared towards the front of the room, but then we square it over the extended leg. So squaring over extended leg, begin to fold forward, bringing either the forearms down to the ground, allowing the forehead to drop down. Now, if you find that you need a bit of help here, grab hold of your rolled up blanket and prop it underneath the hips. So if you find the hamstrings are very tight here and you need a little bit of help to roll onto the sit bones, if they're still feeling really tight, you can prop under a pillow or a bolster, or whatever you need, just gentle on those hamstrings. So relaxing the whole leg, relaxing forward, and then we're holding for 3 minutes on each side. So body is squared over extended leg. Allow yourself to just settle into the shape. If you want to take hold of a prop to rest forehead on it, do so. If you want to take a couple of blocks and rest the forearms on them, do so. If you want to take a couple of pillows and rest them over the leg and fold body over that, you may do so as well. Just play around with the shape until you find that edge of a 5 where you're able to fully surrender. And then once you're there, allow yourself to begin to focus once more on the breath. In Yin Yoga, we work to the edge of a 5. We find stillness within the shape, and then we hold. So we let go of all additional muscle tension as we work into the ligaments, the fascial layer, and the tendons, connective tissues. So notice what this shape presents for you. Whether you're able to soften a little bit further into it, whether you're able to fully surrender. And maybe as the shape becomes a little bit more accessible, allow yourself to melt down just that little bit more. Take this time to go inward. Take this time to focus on the breath. What does stillness mean to you? Are you able to keep completely still within the posture? Are you able to allow the mind to become quiet? Or do you always tap back in and get drawn back into the thoughts, attaching to them and letting them drag you off from one direction to the other? Yin Yoga is a practice of allowing the mind to quieten. Taking a last walk through the shape to see if you can soften anywhere else. Just surrendering for a last moment into the shape. Gently turn palms onto the ground, press palms into the mat and gently walk them back towards the torso, letting or coming out of the shape very gently and slowly. So we'll move straight into the other side, or in fact let's take a couple of windshield wipers, bringing the soles back of the feet, back onto the ground, hands behind the back. Allow the knees to drop over from one side to the other as you take a little stretch into the hips. And then we're going to go into the left side. So preparing yourself now. If you were sitting on a blanket, grab hold of that blanket now, or prop it under the hips once more. Right sole of the foot comes into the left thigh. Left leg is extended out towards the side of the body. We square the torso over the leg and then begin to lower down into the stretch, allowing the forehead to drift down towards the leg, and just noticing the difference in the stretch from one side of the body to the other. This is in a particularly stiff side in my psoas and into my hip, so it takes a bit longer for me to release into this left side. But just honor where your body is at. Be respectful of what sensations are being presented. Once more, turn your awareness and attention back to the breath. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing yourself to fully surrender into the posture, the shape once more. Are you able to soften just that little bit more? Are you able to allow yourself to completely quieten the mind? As you find yourself in this one-legged forward fold, just where else can you soften? What else can you do to let go in these last seconds of the shape? Gently turning palms towards the ground, beginning to press palms back in as you walk hands back towards the torso, lengthening back up through the spine, taking your time going into the postures slowly, coming out of the postures slowly. Gently bring both feet, soles of the feet back into the ground, knees facing up to the ceiling, and hands behind you. Let's windshield wipe once more, taking the legs over from one side to the other, gently stretching into the hips. Let's take the last couple of stretches here. And then we're gently going to roll over into tabletop, coming into the next shape, which is puppy pose. So let's place our props aside. So we're in tabletop position, back is neutral. From here, we're going to begin to walk the hands forward onto the top of the mat. And then from there we press backwards, dropping forehead down onto the ground and allow the forearms to rest onto the mat. So if this is not accessible for you because of any problems in the shoulders, you can flatten or draw the hands right back. You also have the option to pop the head down onto a block. So take a block, drop forehead onto the block, so bringing the ground closer to the forehead. Whatever you need here, take it. We're here for 3 minutes in melting heart, so also known as puppy pose. Forehead is resting on the ground, arms are extended out in front of the body, forearms can rest here onto the mat. Again, if you need props, grab hold of them. Bolster up the forehead. Bring the ground closer. Whatever you need, take it. And then once you're here, really allow yourself to be taken into target area space of the shoulders, shoulder blades, upper arms. Just what is going on there? Is it more than a 5? Or are you able to maintain respecting and honoring your body? Deeply inhaling and exhaling into the breathing cavity, expanding the chest up and down and from side to side. With every exhale, really consciously letting go of the breath and allowing any tension to leave the body with it. Allowing that chest to melt down into the ground beneath it. Allowing all tension through the upper body to dissolve. Last few deep breaths here as we move to the end of melting heart posture. Just seeing if you can soften anywhere else, if you can let go of any further tension. Gently press palms into the mat. Begin to rise up and walk the hands back slowly, slowly, so that you're coming back into tabletop. We're moving straight from here into a wide-legged child's pose. So bringing the knees to the edges of the mat, toes are touching, drop the buttocks down towards the heels, and then here we're going to take a bit of care of the shoulders. We've been in deep shoulder stretch. Let's drop forehead. Let's create a diamond shape with the hands. Elbows are going to be resting along the outside of the mat. Rest forehead and just allow yourself to completely melt down here. Let go of all tension. Just drop down and melt down into the ground. If anybody's having issues with the knees here, you can take your rolled up blanket or pillow or cushion or whatever it is and place that underneath the buttocks just to raise or create a bit of support. So we're taking a beautiful stretch now through the spinal column, so one vertebra at a time is having a beautiful stretch. Once more, turn your awareness to the breath and just let go into the shape. Finding that space of stillness. Completely letting go and relaxing. Keeping focus and awareness on the breath as you deeply inhale and exhale through the nose. every inhale expanding right into the chest, and with every exhale, sigh out, shift energy, let go of any tension. Softening the entire body, fully surrendering into the shape. Gently press palms into the mat as you begin to rise up. Draw the knees together, come back into tabletop. Let's take a couple of cat-cow now, just to further stretch through the spine. So, dropping the belly, gaze forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, draw spine up, gaze to navel. Inhale, draw up, belly, gaze forward. Exhale, draw spine up, gaze to navel. Let's take two more. Inhale, drop belly, gaze forward. Exhale, gaze to navel. And then last one, inhale, drop belly, gaze forward. Exhale, draw spine, gaze to navel. Tuck the toes for a moment, press palms into the mat, and let's rise up into downward facing dog. So adjusting here, take the feet wide to the edges of the mat for a moment, and just allow yourself to paddle heels here, stretching right out through the calves, rolling up onto toes, and then pressing back down. Step the feet back into your traditional downward facing dog pose, and hold for a few moments, taking a few breaths here. One more deep breath, and as you exhale, gently lower the knees, and we're coming onto the back. We're going to take the next posture, which is Reclined Pigeon Pose. So, coming down onto the back, let's take a deep stretch. Draw the arms up overhead, send the toes down to the bottom of your mat. Feel as though someone's pulling fingers and toes away from one another. Deep, deep stretch. And as you exhale, let's gently come, bringing right ankle onto left knee. So from here, we thread the hands through the legs. So I'll show you from this angle as well. Interlace fingers to grab hold of either over the shin or the back of the thigh, so it's up to you, whatever your range is here. So gaze forward and then lower the forehead down, slightly tuck the chin down in towards the chest so you have a lovely lengthening of the back of the neck. And let's settle down here in reclined pigeon or reclined figure of four. Interlace fingers and allow the whole body to melt down into the mat. Shoulders are soft here, spine is soft. Just go back into that space of stillness now, closing your eyes and letting go. big, deep breaths, connecting once more to your inner being as you connect the body and the mind. They travel in the waves of your breath, softening right down into the shape, checking in. Are the shoulders soft? Are the feet soft? Target area for this shape in the hip, the outer glute, and possibly the IT band of the right leg. There's no sensation anywhere else. Everything else is soft. Deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Allow yourself to fully surrender into the shape. Be here for another minute or so. Another few breaths before we get ready to move into the next shape, which is going to be a twist over to the left side. So we're essentially going to keep everything as it is. So we're transitioning, gently beginning to roll this right sole of the foot down towards the ground. Remove the arms, allow the sole to drop over and the knee to drop down, left knee, to drop down onto the mat. Try to keep both shoulders pinned here. Take the left hand, grab hold of the right ankle, and then if you're able to draw this right knee away from the body, sending it down towards the bottom or towards the bottom of your mat, taking the right hand out beside you. So just allowing it to extend out, palm facing upward, gaze up towards the ceiling, and allow yourself 3 minutes here, just stewing in this gentle twist, working here along the IT band of the right leg, working into the right hip area, maybe inner thigh, maybe some glute stuff going on here, maybe some psoas stuff going on. Just allow yourself to simmer into this shape, soften and surrender. Right sole of the foot is planted down into the ground. There's stability here. Close the eyes and surrender. Let yourself go into the posture, melt into it. Beautiful deep inhalations and exhalations. How can you soften just that little bit more? Where is the target area of this stretch for your body? Have you managed to soften through the chest, soften the arm? Moving into the last few breaths here. And then when you're ready, you can gently bring the right leg back down onto the mat. Slowly rolling back onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest here. Give yourself a gentle rock from side to side, gently decompressing through the spine. And then we're going to draw the hands up overhead, taking a deep stretch. And then exhale, we're coming into the left side. So we're taking the left ankle onto the right knee. We're threading the hands through, coming into our reclined pigeon pose, interlacing hands over either the shin or the back of the thigh, whichever works for you. Drop the forehead down, relax shoulders, and once more just soften into the shape, letting go of all tension through the body. Target area in the hip, glute area, so just let go of any other tension throughout the body. Close your eyes. And once more become focused on your breath. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing yourself this moment to just let go of all thoughts, being fully aware of the inhale and the exhale. Ankles and toes and feet are soft. Walking through the shape, seeing if you can surrender any muscle tension that you're holding in the body. Before we get ready now to transition into our twist over to the right hand side, just really surrendering for this last couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, you can gently unclasp the hands. We're going to send that left sole of the foot over towards the right side. So it comes down onto the ground, right knee and leg settles, holding onto the ankle with the right hand, and then sending that left knee down to the bottom of the mat and away from the body, drawing the left arm up and over. Both shoulders are square, gaze up to the ceiling, and just let go. Once more, just noticing sensations in the body and allowing yourself to simmer into the shape. What is this shape presenting for you? Are you able to let go of any muscle tension? Are you able to be in this expression of the pose, or did you perhaps need to take a prop, and if you did, to place this foot onto the prop just to lessen the intensity a little bit more? Hope you've done so. Just let go, surrender. Getting ready to move out of this shape, we're gently going to move the left leg back and draw left foot into the mat, right foot into the mat. Gently roll back onto the back, hug the knees into the chest, take a gentle rock from side to side, gently decompressing spine. You can even move around here in a gentle circle, circling in one direction and then gently circling in the other direction, having given lower back a gentle massage. And then grabbing hold of the back of the thighs, we're gently going to rock and roll. We're coming into the next posture, which is supported fish. So we're going to grab hold of a couple of pillows or a bolster or whatever you have handy, and we're going to move into drawing the bolster right up into the back of the move it back up top of the mat. So drawing the pillows into the buttocks, and then gently fold the body or relax the body over the bolster. Bring the hands out beside you, palms facing upward for supported fish. You have a few options here. You can just extend the legs down to the bottom of the mat, or if you feel it's part of your practice today, join the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drift out. You can also grab hold of a couple of blocks and place them under the knees here should you need them. So again, find some restorativeness in this posture. And then when you're ready, you can gently let go of all muscle tension and fold and relax into the shape. Beautiful opening through the chest, softening of the body. Take a couple of sighs, letting go of any last bits of tension. Allowing the body to melt down into the ground. If your neck is a little bit tight here, you can grab hold of a blanket and roll that and place it under to just gently raise up the head a bit. Whatever you need here, take it. Make sure that you're at an edge of a 5 and not more. Honor and respect the body. Just noticing which body parts are connecting to the ground and allowing them to sink that little bit deeper as you soften and surrender a bit more. The back of the head, the shoulder blades, the whole spine, the lower back area, the forearms, the palms melting down. In my case, the blade edges of the feet. If you've got your legs extended out to the bottom of the mat, legs are heavy, feet are relaxed. Just allow yourself this little bit of sweet surrender for another minute. We're getting ready to transition out of this posture, coming into the very last shape for our practice today. Gently roll over onto one side here. Shift your bolster or your pillow or whatever you used here aside, coming flat down on the mat. Take a deep stretch overhead. We're going to take a last shape, raising the legs, feet higher than the heart, just to do a little bit of lymph drainage and also just to give the organs, internal organs, a lovely wash with oxygenated blood. You can take a block here or a book or whatever you've got, or even your pillows, and we're going to prop them underneath the buttocks. So raising up the hips, bring them underneath the buttocks to the base of the spine. Just find a really great sweet spot here, and then allow yourself just excuse me, to let go here. Just make sure that you're and then just allow yourself to let go here. Feet are now higher than the heart. We're allowing a little bit of lymph drainage. So allowing the blood or the heart to take a little rest here. Oxygenated blood gathering in the abdomen, giving the internal organs a beautiful wash. And just let go. Again, you can also just raise up the legs and go and place them up a wall, so buttocks in towards the wall. You don't have to have a prop underneath the hips. You can just have the hips on the ground as well. The longer you can be in this shape for, the better. It's very restorative, very healing, very cleansing for the body. So take your time here. Take as long as you need. Once more, bringing full focus and awareness back to the breath. Allowing yourself to tap into that space, the healing properties of the breath. The toes are soft here. Just allow yourself a moment to surrender fully into the ground. Legs are heavy, drawing right down into the buttocks. Whole back is beautifully rested on the ground. Taking last few rounds of breath here before transitioning finally into our final relaxation. So beautiful all-round yin practice today. Very gentle, very mindful of the body, respecting and honoring it. When you're ready, you can gently lower the soles of the feet down to the mat. Raise the hips up once more, remove your block or bolster or whatever you had, a pillow. Hug the knees into the chest one last time. Send the soles of the feet up. Let's take a really quick happy baby. So draw the hands onto the sides of the feet and gently rock from side to side. Whole spine is flat on the mat. Just massaging out gently the muscles on either side of the spine. Hug knees into chest one last time, and then send the feet down to the bottom of the edges of your mat. Give the legs a bit of a shake. Bring the hands out beside you. Create some space around you. If you need to grab hold of a blanket, if you need to put on some socks, you need to get warm, whatever you need, take it now. And then surrender fully into the mat, letting go. Beginning with the toes and the soles of the feet and the ankles. Begin to scan for any last pockets of tension, letting go and relaxing. Moving up into the calves and shins and knees. Completely softening here. Moving into thighs, hips, pelvis, softening and surrendering. Bringing awareness to the tips of your fingers, the palms, your hands. Feeling where the back of the hands are, connecting to the ground as you allow them to melt down a little deeper. Forearms, elbows, upper arms, all soft. Chest, belly, rib cage, body and bones feeling heavy as they sink down deeper into your mat. Awareness into the shoulder blades as you consciously allow the shoulders to relax just that little more. Attention into the neck and shoulders. Muscles of the mouth and the eyes soft. Unclench your jaw. Bring awareness to the area of the third eye, moving up into the crown, and then finally to the back of the head where it's resting on your mat, allowing it to surrender just that bit more as you completely let go. Taking a last scan throughout your entire body, letting go of any last residual tension. Body is now fully relaxed. Body is now soaking up the practice, assimilating with the work that's been done, and knowing that less is oftentimes more. By mindfully moving through each of the shapes, we allow ourselves to honor the body, allowing it to use its innate wisdom. The body knows what to do. Deep breaths, inhale, exhale. And then you can gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Beginning to wriggle the toes, bringing some movement into the feet. Gently taking the tip of the thumb and drawing it across the tips of the fingers. Allowing the head to roll over from one side to the other. Gently drawing the arms up overhead, sending the feet down, taking a last deep stretch. And as you exhale, gently roll over onto your right or your left side for a last moment. Just stay down while I bring you our reading for today, which is entitled Gratitude. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. It turns problems into gifts, failures into successes, the unexpected into perfect timing, and mistakes into important events. It can turn existence into a real life, and disconnected situations into important, beneficial lessons. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace to today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. It is with gratitude that I thank you for joining me on the mat today, and I encourage you to take your intention out into the day with you, being mindful, present in the moment, honoring your body. Bring the palms together to touch once more. Begin to rub the palms, generating warmth between the hands. Resting the hands back into your heart center, connecting here to the heart. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, bow nose down to fingers. Acknowledging yourself and all those around you. Namaste.